Heartwarming truth revealed, obese girl's life changed forever by a poor farmer with hidden mill. Lily trudged home from school, her heart sinking with each step. That afternoon, the whispers and snickers of her classmates replayed in her mind a relentless mantra, reminding her of her worthlessness. She was the fat girl, an easy target for bullying in a town filled with its own economic struggles. Her mother worked tirelessly at multiple jobs, often coming home exhausted, leaving little time for their strained relationship. Lily felt like a burden, always trying to keep her head down and avoid trouble. But today felt particularly heavy, as the weight of failure settled on her chest. She felt invisible, just another number in a school full of judgment. That was until she stumbled upon Tom, the eccentric farmer known for his wild stories of crop magic and secret mills. At first glance, he looked out of place in their worn-down town with his floppy hat and bright red suspenders, always grinning as if he held a treasure map in his heart. "Hey there, young lady," Tom called out, waving as she walked by. His kindness caught her off guard. "You look like you could use a cookie." Lily paused. "A cookie? Really? I just pulled them out of the oven. Fresh baked, straight from my secret mill. Want to help me bake more?" Skepticism flickered in her mind, but his welcoming smile drew her in. That first afternoon, flour flew around the kitchen, along with laughter and sweet smells that chased away the shrouded shadows of her insecurities. Tom's stories of perseverance inspired her, and as they baked, Lily felt her heart swell, a glimmer of hope igniting beneath her doubts. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen." Now let's continue. As summer rolled in, those afternoons filled with laughter multiplied, and Lily discovered her passion for baking. Each batch of cookies brought with it an infusion of confidence she had never experienced before. But then reality crashed and Lily's mother caught wind of her friendship with Tom and forbade her from returning to the mill. Her mother was scared, her heart gripped by the fear of judgment, desperate to shield Lily from the ridicule that plagued their lives. Torn between two worlds, Lily's heart ached. The sweet smell of flour was tied to hope, but her mother's protection felt suffocating. And just when the town's bakery announced it might close, a spark ignited within her. A connection between Tom's organic flour and the bakery's comforting recipes danced in her mind. But as she stood before her town, delivering a passionate plea for change, she felt the weight of her mother's conflicted gaze from the crowd. Their eyes met for a split second, and everything inside Lily froze. Could she truly bridge that gap? Would her voice matter against the tide of fear and judgment? The energy thickened in the air as hope and uncertainty collided, leaving Lily poised on the edge of transformation, heart racing as she took a breath, ready to face whatever came next. Lily stood at the center of the small town square, trembling slightly. The crowd seemed to hush as her voice echoed against the brick buildings. Just a week ago, she felt invisible, a mere shadow among her peers. Now, here she was, poised to confront her fears in front of everyone who had ever belittled her. Everyone," she began, her voice wavering. "I know I'm not who you expect to stand up here, but I have something important to say." Her heart pounded, a frantic drum echoing in her ears. She spotted Tom standing at the edge of the crowd, his encouragement shining like a beacon. If anyone believed in her, it was him. Taking a deep breath, she pushed past the anxiety wrapping around her, determined to make her words count. "This bakery," she continued, "is more than just a shop. It holds memories, smiles, and flavors that bring us together. It should not close." A murmur rolled through the crowd, and Lily felt urgency spark in her veins. "Our town is struggling, yes, but we can help each other. All it takes is a bit of courage and understanding." The words took flight, dancing in the air as she talked about Tom and the delicious cookies they baked together. Lily's cheeks flushed with warmth as she recalled their afternoons swaddled in laughter and flour. Baking isn't just mixing ingredients. It's love, connection, and support. If we can share that love, we can save our bakery. Lily glanced at her mother, whose face held a mixture of concern and pride. It was the first time Lily saw hope flickering there, a fragile light shining through years of worry. Maybe her mother could see that baking wasn't just escapism, it was part of who Lily was becoming. As she finished speaking, the silence fell heavier. Would they rally behind her? Would she be able to change their hearts like Tom had changed hers? A hand shot up from the back, and Lily's breath hitched. It was Mr. Thompson, the bakery owner. His weathered face broke into a soft smile. "I never thought about it that way," he said, his voice breaking. "Perhaps we all need to share a little more love." The crowd nodded slowly, murmurs of agreement bubbling like rising dough. With her heart swelling with hope, Lily felt the connection building, community growing. One person's courage can ripple through many, but then, just as the tide of support began to build, her mother approached her, shaking her head. "Lily, please," she whispered, trembling. "You don't understand the stakes. What if this fails? What if they turn on you again?" Lily's heart sank as her mother's fear wrapped around her words like a tight vice. It felt as though a wall was crashing down between them at the moment she needed her the most. "Mom, I can't keep being afraid of what they think. I want to help." The crowd was watching intently now, the tension palpable. All the determination that had filled Lily moments ago wavered under her mother's eyes filled with dread. Could she change everything with one plea, even if her own mother resisted her newfound strength? As doubt crept in like a cold breeze, Lily felt the weight of the world pressing on her shoulders once more. But what if this time it's different? She whispered almost to herself, desperate to bridge the rift, and standing there amid the swirling emotions, she realized she needed to find the courage to stand her ground, even against the one person she wanted support from the most. Would her heart be strong enough to break through? With her mind racing, she took another step both toward her audience and her mother, ready to fight for the chance to change her life, and perhaps even theirs. What if the next cookie she baked was the one to save them all? Lily took a deep breath. All eyes were on her, and she could feel the weight of their expectations. She looked into her mother's fearful gaze, and something within her shifted. It was time to be bold. "Mom," Lily said, her voice softer but firm, "I know you're scared. I am too. But we can't let fear win. This bakery is our heart. It's where we've laughed, cried, and shared moments that matter." A stillness settled over the crowd. She could see some familiar faces softening. People she had once seen as the harshest critics were now looking at her in a way that suggested they were beginning to understand. "It's an opportunity for all of us," she continued, her palms sweaty but her resolve solid. "We can't let a little doubt keep us from what we love. Together, we can work to make this bakery thrive again." Lily's words poured out, fueled by the memories of baking with Tom and all the joy it had brought her. "I want us to create something beautiful. Let's hold bake sales, community events, share our stories through our recipes. We can make this bakery an extension of who we are." Mr. Thompson nodded, his eyes reflecting admiration. "You're speaking the truth, Lily. A place like our bakery thrives on love, on community. I never realized how much more it could mean." Encouraged, Lily sensed that their energy was shifting. The fear in her chest began to dissolve as she recognized the hope replacing it. "We can't just let it go. We have to fight for it, for each other." Her mother's face remained tight with worry, but there was a flicker of something else, perhaps understanding. "But what if they don't come?" she whispered, the doubt still there. "Then we'll find a way to bring them," Lily exclaimed. "Let them taste the love. We'll show them what this bakery really represents." As the murmurs began to rise again, she seized the moment. "Please, everyone, if you believe in this community, in the spirit of togetherness, let us save our bakery." Let us display our heart to the world. The crowd was shifting now, voices intertwined, a chorus building with conviction. Yes. Let us do it. Someone shouted from the front. It was happening. The fear was lifting. Together they began to discuss ideas, fundraisers, events, ways to engage with the town. Lily could feel the excitement bubbling, and her heart soared. But just then, a hush fell over the group as a tall figure emerged from the back. It was Jimmy, one of the town's most outspoken critics. The newcomer stood with hands on his hips, a skeptical look on his face. What makes you think just bringing in more people will change anything? What if we pour our hearts into this and it still fails? His voice rang with a challenge that threatened to tilt the fragile unity they had formed. Lily's stomach dropped. She could see her mother draw in a breath beside her. Was it true? What if they failed? In that moment of doubt, Lily remembered the cookies, the warmth, the love, the smiles. She refused to let fear, even from someone who seemed to have the loudest voice, derail the connection they had just forged. Because, she smiled back at Jimmy, her own heart racing, when you bake with love, you make something that people crave. They'll see how hard we're trying, and that's what will bring them back. Would her faith be strong enough to carry them? Could they truly unite the town around something so simple as cookies? The crowd waited, hanging on her answer, but Lily knew, more than anything, it was about belief. Believing in the strength of their community and in herself. As tension hung in the air, both exciting and daunting, she felt ready to make the leap. What awaited them was uncertain, but perhaps, just perhaps, this was the moment when everything would finally change. Would they rise to the challenge? The hushed crowd seemed to hold its breath, the energy palpable. After a moment that felt like an eternity, Jimmy visibly softened, the sharpness in his eyes easing just a fraction. "All right, Lily," he said, his voice even but lacking the earlier edge. "I get it. But how will we fund this? How much can a few bake sales really do?" Lily stepped forward, feeling a surge of determination. "We'll start small. Each bake sale, each event, will build momentum. We also have our stories, our connections. We can reach out to local businesses for sponsors. Everyone knows how special this bakery is. We just need to remind them." The crowd nodded. Understanding flickered in their eyes as hope began to take root. "I've seen other towns do it," Mrs. Carter, a woman in the front row, piped up. "They brought back their community centers through food festivals. We could do something similar here." That comment sparked an avalanche of ideas. Someone suggested a pie-eating contest, another proposed a best family recipe night where everyone brought a dish. As each idea bounced around, excitement filled the air. It was infectious. A spark lit in Lily's mother's eyes. "If we do a pie auction, I'll donate my famous apple pie. It's always a hit." As the crowd erupted with enthusiasm, Lily's heart swelled. She looked at her mother, who was now animatedly whispering ideas to Mr. Thompson, her earlier worry seemingly forgotten. Then, just when hope felt like a warm embrace, Lily caught sight of Jimmy again. He still stood apart, arms crossed, a slight frown etched on his face. "What if it doesn't work? What then?" He challenged again, though this time there was a hint of curiosity in his voice. Lily paused, weighing the truth of his words. "If it doesn't work, we won't quit. Each setback is just a lesson. But I know this community cares. It will take time. It'll take persistence. Yet the beauty of baking is, like life, you can always whip up something new." A soft murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd. She could see people nodding along to her words, the seed of conviction planting deeper roots. The meeting ended on a hopeful note. People left chatting animatedly, energized by the prospect of what they could accomplish together. But as the crowd dispersed, Lily felt a twinge of uncertainty. Would they really come together? Would the community rally behind her vision? What if, despite their best efforts, the bakery still didn't thrive? "Mom," she said, seeking reassurance, "do you think they really believe we can do this?" Her mother smiled, a mix of pride and concern on her face. "They will, Lily. They just need a reason to believe again." That night, as Lily tucked herself into bed, her mind whirled with ideas and aspirations. She fell asleep dreaming of sweet aromas filling the bakery once more. The next morning, a surprising message pinged on her phone. An old friend from high school had reached out, wanting to help with their first fundraising event. "Maybe this is just the beginning," Lily whispered to herself, determination boiling inside like a pot left to simmer. But before she could dwell too much on the possibilities, another message slipped through the subject line reading, "Urgent. We need to talk." Lily's heart raced. What could it be? Did someone have bad news about the bakery? Could this twist in fate prove to be their salvation or a new hurdle they weren't prepared for? Lily stared at her phone, the bright screen contrasting sharply with the cozy light of her bedroom. The urgency in the message clawed at her. Who could it be? She murmured, feeling the weight of uncertainty settle on her shoulders. Just moments ago, she felt inspired, buoyed by the energy of the meeting. Now, doubt seeped back in, lingering like shadows at the edge of her thoughts. Taking a deep breath, she opened the message. It was from Mia, her childhood friend. They hadn't spoken in years. Each word throbbed with an intensity that made her pulse quicken. "Lily, I heard about the bakery. I'd love to help, but there's something important you need to know. Can we meet?" Lily's mind raced. What could be so important? The memories of their childhood outings, of sharing frost-tipped cookies and warm slices of pie, came flooding back. But this was no time for nostalgia. She quickly replied, suggesting they meet at the bakery, bright and early. The next day, Lily hurried to the bakery, her heart a tempest of anticipation and anxiety. The familiar scent of aged wood and flour mixed with the warm breeze that blew through the open windows. She thought of all the memories it held, the laughter, the flour fights, and the thrill of each new recipe. When Mia arrived, she seemed nervous, her fingers twisting a bracelet that dangled limply from her wrist. "Thanks for meeting me," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. They settled at the worn table by the window, sunlight illuminating the dust motes floating in the air. "I've heard about your plans and I think it's amazing," Mia began, hesitating. "But, there's something you should know about my family and it kind of ties into your bakery." "What do you mean?" Lily asked, curiosity swirling. "My dad," Mia took a breath, her eyes darting around the room as if afraid the walls might overhear. "He's been growing berries and corn on that old farmland for decades. What you don't know is that he's got a hidden mill." Lily's brow furrowed in confusion, unsure where the conversation was heading. "A mill?" "Yeah, a really old one. But it's been sitting idle. He dabbled in making flour but didn't he believe he could compete with big brands. I think we can use it." Her voice rose in excitement. "If we collaborate, we could produce fresh flour, even sell it right here. It would provide you with the best ingredients for your bakery." Lily's heart raced at the possibilities. This wasn't just a lifeline, it was a path leading to fresh hope. Yet, unease nipped at her. But what if it's too much? What if it doesn't work out? "It sounds like a lot of pressure, Mia." "I know it's risky," Mia replied, leaning forward. "But these connections can breathe new life into the bakery. You always taught me to dream bigger. Let's do this together." The air crackled with their intertwined hopes, yet shadows of doubt loomed. What if Mia's family didn't want to help? What if the mill was beyond repair? The weight of uncertainty felt heavy once again. "Lily, please think about it. There's so much potential," Mia urged, her sincerity wrapping around Lily's heart like a warm embrace. As they sat there, a sense of possibility bloomed within Lily. But as soon as she thought about taking this leap, a knot tightened in her stomach. Would this dream truly come to fruition, or was it just another mirage? "Let us do it." The words escaped from her lips before she could fully consider the implications. But as Lily felt the thrill of courage flooding through her veins, another dread crept in. If they pursued this and it fell apart, it wouldn't just be a loss for her. It would affect the community as well. Mia's face lit up, but Lily's excitement was shadowed by doubts. We can figure it out together, right? Lily ventured, though it felt more like a question than a statement. Absolutely, Mia assured. As they looked around the bakery full of history and promise, the air was thick with anticipation. Could they really transform their dreams into reality? Before they could share another word, a loud commotion echoed from outside. Lily's head snapped toward the sound as she saw a crowd gathering. What was going on? And how would this affect their plans? Lily's heart raced as she pushed through the bakery door, the commotion outside amplifying her curiosity and anxiety. She stepped onto the bustling sidewalk, squinting against the sunlight. A growing crowd had gathered across the street, drawn by animated voices and vibrant gestures. A commotion of laughter and shouts echoed, the energy palpable. What's happening? She asked a nearby onlooker, an elderly woman leaning heavily on her cane. The local farmers are reporting back from that festival, the woman replied, excitement dancing in her eyes. They say they got a lot of sales today. Folks are buzzing about fresh produce. Lily felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps today's celebration meant an increased interest in local businesses, including hers. A community that rallied around each other could fortify her plans with Mia. She stepped closer to the crowd, heart swelling with pride as she overheard snippets of conversations about the value of local ingredients, partnerships, and making an impact. Mia! She called out, spotting her friend lingering at the edge of the crowd, glancing sheepishly at the commotion. The smile on Mia's face was infectious, glowing under the sunlight. What do you think? Mia asked, her eyes alight with enthusiasm. This could be our chance. If we join forces with these farmers, everyone wins. Lily's spirit soared at the thought. You're right. Fresh flour from your dad's mill could complement all of this. Local farms collaborating with businesses. Our bakery could be at the heart of this. As their eyes sparkled with shared dreams, a voice broke through the excitement. Everyone! Gather around. We have news. A burly man, a local farmer with dirt-streaked hands, waved his arms to capture attention. We've had an idea that could change everything for us. Lily and Mia exchanged glances, curiosity piqued. Let us hear it. Someone shouted from the back, enthusiasm rippling through the crowd. The farmers are ready to start a co-op system. We'll pool our resources and share everything: produce, flour, even delivery. We can sell locally, and none of us have to bear the burden alone. The crowd erupted in cheers, and Lily's heart raced. This is fantastic! Mia exclaimed. Imagine being part of that. Your bakery could be the first to offer all local products. We could promote sustainability together. The idea took root in Lily's mind like a seed planted deep. But as excitement surged through her, a voice inside whispered doubts. What if we can't keep up? What if I can't handle the pressure of a co-op system? You're not alone anymore. Mia's voice pulled her back. This is about community, remember? You rallied for others. Now it's time for them to rally for you. Embrace the possibility. The warmth of her friend's words wrapped around Lily, softening her tension. They were venturing into uncharted territory, but maybe this was the support they needed. Maybe this was the magic they could ignite together. As they stood together, watching the crowd gather around the farmer, Lily noticed a subtle shift. It was more than just noise, it was a community coming alive, ready to weave their hopes into a shared tapestry. What if we announced your mill idea? She suggested, heart racing. What if Mia shares it with them? It could ignite even more excitement. Mia bit her lip nervously. What if they reject it? What if it's a mistake? Then we adapt. We learn, Lily insisted, her own uncertainty dissipating with each word. We have a vision. In that moment, the fear lessened, replaced by an invigorating surge of togetherness. Maybe this new path would be filled with challenges, but together they could navigate it, and the rewards could be transformative. As they turned back to watch the farmer rally the crowd, Lily felt a pulse of electricity sweep through her. The moment felt monumental. Yet, before she could wrap her head around the possibilities, a shadow flickered at the edge of the crowd, a figure she wasn't quite ready to face. Is that? The words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. What had she missed by getting so caught up in today's excitement? Would her past return to haunt the future she was trying to build? Lily's heart sank as she squinted into the crowd. The figure stepping forward had familiar features that made her stomach twist into knots. It was Alex, the one person she hadn't expected to see again, and certainly not today. Mia, wait, she whispered, grabbing her friend's arm before she turned fully. I need a moment. Are you okay? Mia's brow furrowed with concern, but Lily nodded, forcing a smile that felt like glass. The memory of their last encounter loomed heavy in the air, a clash of emotions that threatened to spill over. She moved closer to the edge of the gathering, trying to fit into the excitement, yet feeling somewhat apart, her mind whirling around the possibility of confrontation. As Alex shouted towards the crowd, his voice boomed with the confidence that had once drawn her in. We're teaming up. It's time to support one another, to uplift every single business in our community. The crowd cheered, but Lily felt the heat rise in her cheeks. She remembered how they had shared dreams and plans, only for it all to fall apart days later, like fragile glass shattering on the ground. Do you think he knows about the co-op? Mia leaned in, her excitement bubbling over. This could change everything. We could leverage his connections. I don't know, Lily replied, nervously rubbing the edge of her sleeve. I just hope he doesn't remember how we left things. But as if summoned by her own fears, Alex's gaze found hers. His smile faltered for a heartbeat, confusion flickering across his face before he shook it off, drawing himself back into the role of leader. Together, we can create a system that not only supports local businesses but thrives on trust and community spirit. He gestured broadly, arms wide and inviting. Let us market each other's strengths. Imagine the possibilities if we work as one. Lily swallowed hard. His words rang with authenticity, yet those same lips had uttered promises before, empty in the end. The ache of betrayal surged within her, melding into fear and a shred of unresolved longing. She had believed in him once. Could she trust him again? Mia, she began, hesitating. Her friend nodded, sensing the weight of the moment. Lily, whatever you're feeling, it's okay. But remember why we're standing here. This is about the bakery, our dreams. Lily blinked back tears as empathy washed over her. Mia wasn't just supporting her, she was giving her courage to confront what had once pushed her away. Drawing a deep breath, Lily stepped forward, the sunlight glinting at her back. You're right, she said more firmly to herself than anyone else. I need to face this. The crowd erupted into cheers as Alex continued to push for community unity, but Lily's heart froze when he locked eyes with her again. Maybe he can still be a part of that vision, Mia whispered as they moved closer, catching the fervor in Alex's tone. If you want that. The thought felt like a tightrope stretch across a chasm of uncertainty. Could she take a leap of faith? Could her dreams still blossom despite the ruins of their past? Before she could answer, Alex took a step closer. Lily, can we talk? Just for a moment. The world around her faded, and her heart raced at the very idea of reconnecting. Just keep it together, she murmured under her breath, determination coursing through her. Let us hear what he has to say, Mia said encouragingly, squeezing her hand. As she stepped forward, a mixture of hope and dread intertwined within her. Would they forge a new path, or was this a fragile thread waiting to snap under the weight of their history? With Alex's outstretched hand before her, Lily felt the familiar pulse of electricity. She had a choice to make that could change everything. But did she dare to make it? Would she allow the past to hold her back, or embrace the undeniable spark of possibility? What lay ahead would define them all. Would they step into the light together or retreat into the shadows? Lily took a hesitant step towards Alex, her breath catching in her throat. The noise of the crowd faded, replaced by the thumping of her own heartbeat. She felt an overwhelming mix of anxiety and anticipation, each emotion fighting for dominance. "Lily," Alex said softly, as if they were the only two in the world. I didn't expect to see you here." There was a flicker of vulnerability in his eyes, a glimpse of the person she had once known. "I didn't either," she replied, her voice shaky. The truth hung heavily between them. She couldn't ignore the past, the pain of broken trust that wrapped around her like a vice. But was it time to let it go? "I've been thinking about what happened between us," he began, but Lily cut him off, shaking her head. "Alex, let us not. It's been a long time, and I don't know if we can just forget what happened." Her chest tightened, and she could almost taste the bitterness of hurt still lingering. "I know," he said, his brow furrowing. "But I want to make things right. I believe in this community, and I believe in you." Her heart softened at his words, temporarily blurring the pain. That was the Alex she had known, passionate, full of dreams and promises. The way he spoke made her heart ache for what could have been. "This co-op. It wasn't just a business idea for me," he confessed, his gaze unwavering. "It was about us. Building something together, like we always talked about. I lost sight of that, and I'm sorry." Lily blinked back tears. "Alex, I wanted that too. I still do. But can we really trust each other again?" He took a step closer, his hand reaching out, fingers hovering just above hers. "Let us start slow. We can rebuild what we had. But this time, let us communicate. No secrets, no lies." The crowd roared with enthusiasm behind them, a stark contrast to the bubble of tension surrounding Lily and Alex. Strange how the world could feel so alive yet still so lonely at the same time. "Okay," she breathed, her mind racing. "We can start fresh. For the bakery, for the community." The resolve in her voice surprised even her. She felt a weight lift, replaced by a flicker of hope, a tiny ember sparking within, daring to ignite. "And after?" he asked quietly. "What about us?" "I can't answer that yet," she admitted, feeling the heat rise in her cheeks. "But we can see where this goes." The uncertainty rolled off her tongue like a sweet promise, thrilling and terrifying all at once. That he smiled, genuine and warm. "That's all I'm asking for. Just a chance." As they stepped back from the brink of unresolved feelings, the crowd surged forward, their cheers and laughter creating an orchestra of support that enveloped them. It felt cleansing, refreshing, like the first rainfall after a long drought. Lily felt Mia's encouraging squeeze on her shoulder, anchoring her. She hadn't realized how much she needed this moment, how much she craved connection, but deep down, another wave of anxiety washed over her. Could she truly separate her heart from the past? Was she ready to give Alex another shot, knowing the risk of getting hurt again? As the excitement from the gathering crescendoed, Lily's thoughts began to spiral. What if this was another chance, or a step toward more heartache? With a stealing breath, she faced Alex. "Let us make it work together." He nodded, hope lighting up his expression, but something in her gut whispered there was more to this than just a fresh start. As they stepped into the energy of the crowd, a flicker of doubt remained. Was this the turning point she had longed for, or was it simply another chapter filled with unresolved questions? In that instant, Lily understood one thing: the stories of their lives were intertwined, but how they would end was still an unfinished tale. And she wondered, would they embark on this journey with their hearts open, or would old wounds pull them apart before they could truly find their way? Lily felt invigorated by the crowd's energy as they took their first steps forward together. The air was buzzing, charged with promises and renewed hopes. It was hard to believe that just moments ago, she was overwhelmed by trepidation. Now, standing next to Alex, she felt lighter, almost like she could breathe again. As the festival unfolded around them, colors danced in the air. Banners billowed in the warm breeze. The sweet scent of baked goods wafted through the crowd, reminding Lily of the dreams they had shared. Together, she and Alex had envisioned this place bursting with life, a gathering of community sprouting out of their joint efforts. "You okay?" Alex's voice broke her reverie. She turned to find him watching her intently, those warm brown eyes still filled with gentleness. "I thought I would be scared," she admitted, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "But I actually feel hopeful." His face lit up with a smile that spread from ear to ear. "That's a good start. There is something magical about this place, isn't there?" "Yes," she replied, a soft smile blooming on her lips. "It feels like home." But beneath the rush of excitement, shadows of doubt lingered. Could this feeling last? What if the anxiety returned? They moved through the crowd, sharing laughs with familiar faces. Mia waved enthusiastically, holding a plate of pastries, beaming at them like a proud parent. "You two look great together. Starting fresh, huh?" Lily bit her lip, unable to fully respond. Even in the excitement, the weight of their past loomed over her. The festival was alive, but what about their relationship? "This will be good for the bakery," Alex said, attempting to pivot the conversation. "Look how many people are showing up. We'll build a community together, starting today." Lily nodded, appreciating his optimism, but her stomach twisted at the thought of previous failures. What if we mess this up again? Alex placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder, grounding her momentarily. "We won tea. Just one step at a time. Remember, we don't need to have all the answers right now." "Right," she murmured, the warmth of his hand bringing her a sense of calm. As they found a quiet corner away from the frenzy, he continued. "What do you think we should focus on first? The bakery needs a plan, but we also need to see where we both stand." Lily took a deep breath, uncertainty mingling with excitement. "I think we should probably get to know each other again. For a while, we've been walking on eggshells." "Agreed," he said, his gaze softening. "How about we start with what we both love about baking? It's the heart of our dream." She felt a smile creep back on her face. "And maybe a little taste test along the way?" He laughed, the sound warming her heart. "Absolutely. Let us go make some memories." As they turned back toward the heart of the festival, Lily felt the ghost of her doubts fade, even if just a little. Could laughter and love rebuild the cracks of their past? With each step, she could sense the shift in their dynamic. But as they approached the bustling stalls, a dark cloud loomed. An old acquaintance stood at the edge, arms crossed, watching with piercing eyes full of disapproval. Lily's heart sank. Was this person going to splinter the fragile new beginning she and Alex were trying to forge? "Who is that?" Alex asked, noticing her sudden change in demeanor. Lily's throat tightened. "Someone from my past, someone who knows everything." As the weight of her history threatened to pull her back, she realized she had a choice to make: hide from the truth or face it head-on. "Maybe we should talk to them," Alex suggested, surprising her with his confidence. Could this unexpected confrontation catapult them further apart, or could it finally break free the chains of her past? Suddenly, Lily felt that familiar flutter in her chest. Was it fear or hope? Lily stood as if rooted in place, her breath shallow. The crowd around her buzzed with excitement, but all she could focus on was the figure looming at the edge. Alex looked at her, his expression a mix of concern and curiosity. "We should face this together," he said gently. Together, the word felt foreign yet comforting. She took a deep breath and nodded. As they approached, Lily's heart raced. Memories surged, laughter shared, secrets told, and the eventual heartbreak. "You can do this. Just speak from your heart," Alex whispered, putting a reassuring hand at the small of her back. The figure stepped forward. It was Mandy, a ghost from a life that felt like ages ago. "So you're back," Mandy remarked, her tone dripping with skepticism. "I didn't think you'd show your face around here again, especially with him." Lily clenched her fists, the familiar sting of judgment clawing at her. This was her chance to stand her ground. "Mandy, I'm here to support my community and save the bakery. It's not about what you think of me, but about all of us working together," she said, her voice steady even as her pulse quickened. Mandy raised an eyebrow. "You honestly think you can change anything just like that? Just bake a few cookies and everyone will magically rally?" "It's not just about cookies," Lily replied, feeling warmth surge in her chest. "It's about community, love, and second chances. People can surprise you, if you let them." Alex cleared his throat, stepping closer to Lily's side. "That's right. We believe in this town and its potential. Lily has a vision for not just the bakery but for all of us to contribute." Mandy's posture subtly shifted, a twinge of intrigue reflecting in her eyes. "And has this magic already begun?" "I hope so," Lily said, her heart racing. "Today is about bringing people together, not tearing them apart. It might be a small step, but jump-starting something beautiful is never too small." Lily could feel the crowd behind her. Support flowed like electricity through the community she had fought so hard to embrace. To her surprise, subtle nods emerged from familiar faces. People she hadn't spoken to in years were recognizing the truth in her words. Mandy crossed her arms, scrutinizing Lily. "Well, then let us see what you've got. Prove that you and your fancy ideas can actually bear fruit." That's when something changed. Instead of panic, Lily felt a surge of purpose. "I will," Lily declared, feeling the heat of inspiration course through her veins. "We're organizing the first of many community bake sales next week. I want everyone to contribute their favorite recipe. If you help us, we can help each other, and you might see for yourself that people want to come together." For a moment, silence hung in the air, uncertainty swirling around them. "Why should we believe you?" Mandy asked, sounding genuinely curious for the first time. Lily glanced at Alex, and with bolstered confidence, she replied, "Because together, we can create something that everyone will want to participate in. The bakery can be more than a shop, it can be a home for us all." A murmur rippled through the crowd, voices buzzing with excitement. Lily's heart raced as she glanced around, noticing a camaraderie forming that hadn't existed before. So Mandy crossed her arms again, but her demeanor had softened. "What's next?" Lily smiled, a warmth spreading through her. "Join us. Let us put our past aside and build something magnificent together." As she finished, the crowd erupted with applause, excitement crackling in the atmosphere. In that moment, Lily glanced at Alex, whose eyes sparkled with hope. She felt a flush of gratitude for the strength pouring from her community and the journey that lay ahead. Through the whirlwind of emotions, she realized how far she had come. No longer weighed down by bullying or past scars, she stood with her heart wide open. The tapestry of connection had been woven, filled with laughter and love and something powerful, a vision for the future, and standing beside her was Alex, ready to embrace whatever came next, together. As the festivities continued, Lily's joy radiated brighter than the sun above. The whispers of doubt faded into the background, replaced by the promise of possibility. The new chapter had finally begun. Now, I want you to become part of this journey. This is the moment to show your support. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help our story reach more hearts. I want to hear your reactions and feelings about this emotional ending, so comment below. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation and be inspired by the community spirit. Let us spread hope together.